Hey guys, Connor from the Ticket Stub, and you were listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday and it's noon. Guess what that means?
Hump day.
Hump day with
Toast of the town with Christy and Mel.
That's
How are you doing, Mel?
I'm just lovely. Christy, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day in downtown
It
Conroe.
is.
And it's going to be an even more beautiful day come Friday.
Weekend is
Yes.
going to be awesome.
I know, I'm so excited.
We've had an ostentatious week.
An ostentatious week.
I don't know what that means, but good.
It has been a great week.
It has.
It's been a busy week.
Busy week,
But we've
that's right.
recovered from homecoming week.
Yes,
And by we, I
yes.
mean, me specifically. But yes, recovered
Yes.
from homecoming week.
Right.
And so excited to be back because we have another huge weekend coming up this weekend.
I know.
So
I
for those
know.
of y'all who have not seen them, check this out. Isn't this so cute?
Oh, look
Isn't
at
that
it.
so
It's so cute.
I know. So this
Okay.
is the all-new designed ladies cap for Catfish Festival.
Ladies.
That starts tomorrow. We're so excited.
Look, there's our
Our
guest.
guest is here. And but that's right. But Conroe
see
Cajun
you.
Catfish Festival kicks
great.
off
It's good to see you.
Friday. And we're
Mm-hmm.
super excited, but we actually shut the town down starting tomorrow at 5:00, and people can actually come out and ride the carnival rides. You get an armband for $20, but there's no charge to come in the gate tomorrow night. So if you want to bring the kids out without the crowd, so much of the festival,
Yeah,
you can come
yeah.
out and ride it. But for those of you who can't see, it's going to be a crazy weekend full of packed of all kinds of amazing entertainment.
packed of it.
Yeah, we've got local boy Jeremy Lamont coming on the DeMontron, Texas stage from 6:30 to 8 on Friday. Then Randall King, followed by Mike Ryan. It's going to be awesome. Plus, we have Bayou Rue and Wayne Toops. That is just Friday night. And then Saturday, we've got Trent Cowie Band. We've got Jody Booth, another local guy, JB and the Moonshine Band, Kevin Fowler, and of course, Pat Green. And then if you are still into some rockin' awesome Cajun music, we've got the Platinum Players, Kayan and the Zydeco Masters, Heath Leday, and Rockin' Doopsie going on Saturday night. And then Sunday, we have our friend, the Honorable Reverend Sleepy Ray, and the Zydeco Dots and Different Beast and music and shopping and catfish galore.
Well, I'm excited about the shopping.
I know.
There's some things I want, and I love. There's certain vendors here I just love. There's.
Well, we get
shops
some
and
vendors that
purses
we
and
don't
really cool
see in these parts very often.
I know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we talk so much about the music that
I know,
we
it
don't mention
overshadows.
the really cool things.
I
that are
know, and
here.
the amazing food vendors that come. So if you want more information, you can go to
and
Conroe
food.
Cajun, catfishfestival.com. You can also download the free mobile app. It's got not only the music lineup, but you can purchase your tickets, and if you buy them in advance, you save some money. And you can buy them on your phone and have them right there. Plus, you can also check out all the menus. We have a map of the festival grounds. We've got everything. So you can go to your iTunes or your Android Google Play store, and you can download that free mobile app. Just search for Conroe Cajun Catfish Festival.
I am excited.
I'm so excited. I
do-
know.
I am. It's makes me forget how tired I am by the end of it.
Yes, correct. But and that's not the only thing going on this week or this weekend. We've got all kinds of haunted houses kicking up. Our friends over at the Conroe Professional Firefighters are kicking off theirs again. Always so much fun. Also going on Saturday morning, we've got Oktoberfest. That's happening at the Montgomery Community Center. It benefits bears, etc., which is our great friend Katie Krause who runs it, that does working to build a refuge for bears, because there are a lot of bears that are being held in captivity, which is crazy. And they're just wonderful. So that's a lot of fun. There's also going to be a homecoming of quilts, which is a quilt auction out at Angel Oaks Event Center, which is right down the street or right next door to Papa's in Spring on Pruitt Road. And but it's the Woodlands Area Quilt Guild that's putting it on. But Bridgewood Farms is one of the beneficiaries, so they get a percentage of the proceeds for the quilt auction. But these quilts are absolutely magnificent. Anyway, really, really cool. And then Sunday is Light the Night from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It's an event that I've been a part of for a long time, and if you've never been, you really should, because it's pretty tremendous.
Well, I'm excited about all the activities.
Yes,
There's
me too.
plenty to do.
Yes.
And
You know where I'll be.
I know exactly where
Yeah.
you'll be. On stage.
I will. I do. I'll
Hugging all the other guys, all the important people.
I
on
get
the
to
stage.
MC the DeMontron stage again this year, so I'm looking forward to it. It's always a lot of fun.
Exciting.
It
That's
is fun.
exciting. Okay, we have two people here.
We do.
One of them doesn't really matter much because he's here quite often. Well,
I know.
look at him.
We're so
He's got
excited
headphones. How did that happen?
because he's special. He's JJ.
Is that how it
I
works?
just sat down and put them on.
I know. Welcome, JJ Hollie,
JJ Hollie.
President
Makes
and
me feel
CEO of the
professional.
Woodlands Area Chamber of Commerce. How are you
Thank you.
doing?
I'm sorry for being late.
That's okay. It's
Totally my fault. I can't even blame it on traffic. I had no problem getting
well,
up here.
yeah, but you're busy. You're busy.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
It's been a good day. Been
Yeah.
a good week.
I know. And y'all have got lots of stuff going on at the chamber. Y'all just rolled out your rebranding. Which,
Yes,
by
we
the
did.
way, hold on, I brought it. Look at
Brand new
this.
pretty pictures.
I love the new logo.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't it
It's
great?
business. Oh my gosh!
You know, they did a great
It's
job.
business-like.
So if you-
You're overselling it, Mel.
But if you have not seen the new
No.
logo, it's really great. And if you could have seen the video that goes with it, do y'all have it on your website?
Yes,
that
we do.
explains every element of the logo. It's super cool.
I
Did
understand
a
it.
fantastic job. And so it's really exciting.
I
It's an exciting
understand
time.
it.
I know.
The greens, the trees, the blues, the water,
The
and
buildings.
Yeah, the buildings.
Who even
and
needs
the
a video?
Bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
I
When
know.
you've got Christy and Mel, really,
So, you know.
I know.
I
Y'all
know.
are almost clairvoyant.
Something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that.
They're almost something.
That's one of those monosyllabic words.
Exactly. And our other guest today is not so much a guest anymore because he's here quite often.
Imposter,
Because we
maybe.
invite him in, and that
Yeah.
would be our resident.
Cleon?
Live long and prosper.
I haven't heard that word in a long
I
time.
could say so many things
Our
right
re-
now
our
that would
resident-
not be appropriate for the radio.
Our resident,
FCC would come calling. Right?
Yeah, me and Howard Stern.
our resident purple lumberjack.
I'm here to take,
Yeah.
I'm here to
Dawson.
take my lumps.
Axum Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
they-
my first
hey.
year of school at SFA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I'm
Yeah,
so
walked onto the
sorry.
football team, got beat up for 9 months.
Kind of like they did this past weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting to. Thank
Cannot
you very
wait
much.
till
for
Saturday night.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. It'll be a slaughterhouse, but it'll be all right. And it's not Saturday night, it's Saturday afternoon. Kickoff is at 2:30. So when I disappear for about 3.5 hours in the middle of festival, you'll know where to find me. Somewhere in front of a
Who are
TV.
they playing this weekend?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Aggies playing Alabama.
Oh, that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. There's that game.
Yeah, that one.
And a little game in Cotton Bowl.
Oh, the Red River.
Red
Shooting
River,
right,
Red
that
River
is.
rivalry.
Yeah,
And then
that'll
you've
be a
got
good one.
LSU and Florida Saturday night. So
It's,
Yeah.
I love, this is like the
This
hardest
is
this is a
football
good
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
This is a good weekend.
It is.
Who did Florida play last week?
Yep.
That was a good game. Florida played.
Yeah, Florida played Auburn last week.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
We was
Sorry.
we was not a
War
happy
Eagles.
household. you
Oh,
know.
yes, Miss
I
Amy.
mean, Amy went to Auburn, and she was
Yeah.
it was a rough
War
3
Eagle.
hours. War Eagle.
I know. I'm learning. But yeah, so lots of things going on at the chamber. What else
Yes.
is going on at the chamber? We know this is a hot season. It's an election year. It's
Yeah.
which is something that you have definitely brought
Yeah, look at that.
as a focus to the chamber, which is so great because that's really y'all's purpose.
That is. That's one of our 4 focus areas is to advocate on for the community on issues that are important. That we say if those issues work, we work. Things like water, transportation, workforce development, schools, and as chambers, we feel like it's our job to pay a lot of attention to those and make sure that they work so that everything else can be good.
Yeah, and you know we've had this discussion before, but a lot of people think that a chamber of commerce is there. If you join the chamber, you're just going to get a lot of business.
Sure.
You know, obviously the opportunity's
Definitely.
there because you can network and you build relationships, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's about supporting an organization that advocates on their behalf.
Yes, that's exactly right. I mean, marketing and networking is something that chambers will do, have always done, and will continue to do. And there's a lot of events that you can go to, and you can increase your business. I mean, I tell people that all the people I do business with are chamber members.
Right.
You know, my financial advisor, my dry cleaner, my insurance guy.
Yeah.
I mean, all those, our landscaper, I all met through the chamber. And you can grow your business that way. And it's a great marketing tool.
Absolutely.
But we don't want to just be a magazine ad or, a public relations firm for somebody. I mean, the big part of what we do is advocate for making sure things work for them.
Yeah. Well, and we know as small business owners how important that is.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So what do you think are some of the biggest issues that y'all are looking into going into this election cycle? Obviously, we have some new township candidates
Yep.
that are up for election,
Yep.
you know, amongst many, many others and countywide seats and so forth.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest hot topic issues that?
The two biggest ones we're focused on there are 3 township seats up for election. There are 11 candidates. We will have a candidate forum October 15th at 4 o'clock at the Chamber of Commerce. in
That's
Woodlands.
coming up really quick.
Yeah, be there or be square. No, it's like next week, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Is today the 8th or the 9th?
Today's the 9th.
Ninth.
Today is the 9th. Yes, 6 days away.
There you
so,
go. Mark your calendars. Go to
come on down.
woodlandschamber.org. Get your
4 to
tickets.
6.
Where's this going to be?
It will be at the Woodlands Chamber offices,
Okay.
which are on Lakeside Boulevard. We're
Okay.
in Building 2,
Second floor.
second floor, Suite 200. So come on
There
out.
all the time.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So,
That's good. It's good to have you come visit.
Right, I love coming to visit. I don't get down there nearly as much as I
No.
need to. So, okay, so obviously lots of township seats, but there's more than that going on. Obviously, you know, we have some commissioners' races around the county going on.
Yeah. And another thing we're really focused on, of course, is the school bond. Our chamber board passed a resolution in favor of it. And the last election in May, only something like 5 to 7% of the registered voters voted for it.
It's pitiful.
Which I don't, it doesn't matter how you feel about a particular issue. I think we can all agree that only having a vast minority of people vote and represent
Vast.
themselves, I mean, it's just crazy.
It's embarrassing.
And it is embarrassing, and we're to a certain extent a victim of our own success because things are great, and people don't vote unless they get upset about
Right.
something or they see a real downside. And if we don't pass the bond, there are some real downsides to it. I mean, when we meet with businesses, there's a little Fortune 500 company acquisition that went on. One of the issues that was discussed right out of the box was, how is your school district? And we are very proud of our school district. It's one of the best things that we have. It's always ranked very, very high nationally. And we normally add 1,300 to 1,500 students a year. But we heard a report from Dr. Null this morning that we added 2,100 students this school year. You can't house that many students that you add every single
That's
year.
like a whole nother school.
It is. It's a typical school for us. Elementary school is like 1,500 students. So we're adding a new school every year. Just logic would tell you we need to build more schools and get out of portable buildings. So probably the biggest project and the most beneficial is the replanning and reconstruction of Conroe High School. There are over 100 doors in and out of Conroe High School.
I believe
you
it.
cannot secure, and 6 or 7, I can remember how many, different buildings.
Right.
You can't properly secure a school like that.
Yep.
So that'll be a big part of the bond.
Well, Mel and I both went to Conroe High School, and I remember even when I was there, and they've added like 4 or 5 buildings since I graduated. I was just a couple
Yep.
of years ago.
Our
so it
son went
happened
there
really
too.
quick. But it was, it really is amazing how large that campus has gotten.
Yeah.
In that school that was built
That's what I was fixing to say. It's always been huge, in my opinion. But, it went from the main building to adding the fishbowl, the 9th grade building, to adding the BOAG building, and it consisted of a sprawling main building because
Right.
it's spread out. But
And now the
there's
9th
lots of
grade has
athletics.
its own
They've got
separate
their
campus.
own separate
Yeah.
campus.
Exactly.
It's
And I
crazy.
still think
It's
you've got
crazy.
4,000 students
Yeah,
at
that's
Conroe High
crazy.
School.
Exactly.
And you can't get much bigger than that because you don't want to have 5,000 or 6,000, high schoolers in the same building. It becomes a small town.
Well, and it's funny
Well,
to
you get the
me.
inmates running the
True.
But and it's funny to
That's
me.
a hard
'cause
job.
There were 1,100 students in my class. Whenever
big class.
Whenever they opened Caney Creek, that class dropped down to 600 or 700.
Yeah.
And now to be already back at those numbers,
Yeah.
that says a lot.
And that's exactly what happened. They opened McCullough
Yeah.
the year before. They opened at 79.
That's right.
And I graduated in 80, and we had 749 before that. There had been
Wow.
over 1,000. And
then
anyway,
Oak
it was
Ridge.
Oak Ridge, and then they did the same thing with Oak Ridge, and they come down, but they grow right back, and it happens fast. It
Yes.
happens
Well,
fast.
Montgomery County is going to double in population in the next 10 to 15 years.
Which is
So that's
frightening.
going to stress.
I know that.
We already see it. I mean, it's going
Yeah.
to stress education, school buildings. It's going to stress transportation. It's going to stress water.
Yeah.
Well-
we got to have good plans for all of it. And it's not just, you can't just sit back and say no to everything.
Yeah,
You
I agree.
can't. You have to develop a plan on what
Right.
you're going to do.
So the interesting thing is this. it doesn't matter how you feel about the school bond, okay? If you are against the school bond, you need to take into consideration that you still like businesses to do well here.
That's right.
You still like new business to come in.
Yes.
Okay? And the area continues to grow. If you do not build new and attractive schools, that growth will go elsewhere. It will.
You know, there are large metropolitan areas that really have their school districts suffer, and what you see is
They
the
evaporate.
money leaves
Right.
the downtown areas
Yeah.
and
Right.
goes to the suburbs, and we're one of the fortunate suburbs that has benefited from that.
Right, exactly.
But if we're not careful and watch all those issues that are important to us, we'll be in the same position. Because Conroe's growing, Willis is growing,
I was
Montgomery
fixing to
County.
bring up
it-
Willis.
It will just continue to. People will leave to go to good schools.
Yeah.
My point is it's a difficult subject.
Yes.
It's complicated, it's difficult, and you have to sit down and look at it. You have to
Yeah.
decide for yourself.
And go to the information
Go
sessions.
to the information
Yeah.
sessions,
Yeah.
read everything you can, both from the school board and the anti
School bond.
school bond stuff, and decide for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and speaking of Willis, when Howard Hughes developed the Woodland Hills, which is a great new development.
2,500 homes.
It's crazy, and it's beautiful. If you haven't been out
Yes,
there,
it
it's
is.
really nice. And you look at the infrastructure of Willis that isn't quite ready for the growth yet.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they have done, in my opinion, exceptionally well is a couple years ago, we passed the school bond. And the school board developed a new CTE building, which allows a lot of our students to graduate with full certifications. So you've got fully
Yes.
certified welders, you've got fully licensed
Yes.
estheticians that are coming out of school ready to go to work. In addition to one of the most successful dual credit programs that we have anywhere in the area. So to see that school district, and I remember when Willis was like a 2A district,
Yeah.
and to see how much it's grown and to have the foresight that they had to start putting those programs in place, plus the Howard Hughes Corporation and their development, you can see a lot of that growth. People want to get away from the traffic, so they're moving north, and they're just going to keep going up that corridor.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point. The skills funding, you don't have to go to school to go to college.
Correct.
To be successful.
Exactly.
And we have put that in our kids' brains for
Yeah.
decades. And now
Exactly.
you have combined with a very low unemployment rate, and then you have a real lack of skilled workers.
Yep.
I mean, you can go to work for a construction company and in 3 to 5 years be making six figures.
Absolutely.
Without a degree,
Yep.
without student loans.
Yep.
And the bedrock of that is training at the high school
Yeah,
level.
it's really interesting. And if you have it, I'd love to take you for a tour sometime of that new CTE building. It is exceptional, and they really brought a bunch of elements in. And now we're already looking at going for another bond because the growth is there.
You
They're
have
filling
to.
up quickly, but it's tremendous, and it's such a great advantage that we have to live in such an economically
But-
advantaged area.
and I hear people say things like the Conroe School District tax rate is artificially low. I don't know what that means to you, because it's very confusing to me. To me, low is low. Why would you say that, hey, we should put elements of cost into the maintenance and operations budget and drive up the tax rate when you don't have to?
Right.
When you can finance it in a good, logical way, and CISD's managed the funding very, very well, and you can do it, and you can keep taxes low, but still get the needed facilities that are required to be a good school district.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get that. I don't understand the argument of, well, let's not bond it. Let's put it into our M&O budget, and then let's raise taxes by 10 cents. I don't understand the illogic behind that.
Well,
Things that make
don't
you go,
think, no. I had
Alex
a
for
whole,
$500?
I had- exactly. I had a whole string of thoughts, and I just decided I'll just not say them. I think everybody should make their own decision.
I think it's
Because-
very important that people look at the facts, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. For instance, we
There
saw
is.
someone that posted on our Facebook page when we put a post in support of the bond that why are you financing school buses for 30 years? You shouldn't finance an asset that is going to outlive the life of the bond? Well, the answer is we're not.
Right.
And you wouldn't do that. It would be really dumb to do that.
Right.
But the school buses last 11 or 12 years, and a lot of our school buses are old, no safety restraints, no
Right.
air conditioning. The portion of the bond for the school buses is a 10-year. You don't just throw everything out there at 30 years.
Yeah.
You select the technology pieces,
Okay.
which are not, iPads and laptops. It's Cat 5 or Cat 6 wiring of the schools. It's the technology pieces that are going to be.
Which is so vital.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have, we're also data-driven now and technology-driven. You've got to have that.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people, like you said, Mel, get the facts. Don't vote just off of pure conjecture or misinformation.
Right. Well, and I totally agree. It's,
And make sure you're reading facts.
yeah.
Exactly.
And, are y'all doing is Conroe ISD the only ones holding informational sessions? Are y'all hosting one?
We were going to host one, but what we've done is we've decided to do. We did host an informational session about a month ago
Right.
at our legislative team meetings at the
Yes.
chamber, those things are always open to the public and it's all online. You can come whenever you want. And that proceeded as passing a resolution at the board level in favor of the bond. We had thought about doing an open forum or something like that, but then we felt like we've already done that.
Right.
And so we're really going a kind of a social media route. And more of a targeted, because when you hold an event, that's great, but you're only reaching, a couple hundred,
handful.
300 people.
Right.
We've got thousands of followers on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see videos in support of the bond and talk about different elements of the bond, little 30-second digestible
snippets,
snippets that people will start to see. And you'll start to see those today, actually.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's such an important service that y'all provide is educating
Yes.
everyone on what's going on. And then, of course, we've got such an interesting political atmosphere right now,
Yeah.
both on a national level, state level,
That's one term
local
for it.
level. Yes, it is.
Be nice.
I thought I was being nice.
You handled all of that really well. I'm worried about the next
It's
segment.
about to
I
go
know.
downhill.
Let's take a little break if you
Yeah.
think that's appropriate.
when is
and then
Brian gonna
start,
talk?
No, Brian doesn't get to talk today.
Oh, that's a
Just
shame.
I'm teasing Brian. You can step in whenever you want to. We'd like to go ahead and take a break and are you about ready for that, Mr. Engineer? All right. We'll take a break, and if you guys will stick with us, if you're out running around, tune in to 104.1, 0.5 and 106.1. We are there. We will be with you, and otherwise stay with us on Facebook or whatever else. There's a million of them. We will be back.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture, learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families. Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we are at Toast of the Town with Christy and Mel.
I know.
The Moxie girls.
And we are toasting truly one of the
We
best of the
are.
town with
We
JJ
are.
Hollie being
JJ
here.
Hollie.
President and CEO of the Woodlands Chamber of
Cheers.
Commerce. We just love you guys. We love everything that y'all do for the community. And, JJ has quite the vivid political history,
Oh, my.
resume,
And opinions.
and opinions.
Exactly.
I know.
And I'm
Vivid
not even
opinions.
talking about the opinions we just talked about
I know.
for 15 minutes.
There's so much going on. We saw a news story, was that yesterday, maybe day before, about the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District and
Yes.
San Jacinto River Authority going to the Texas Supreme Court. Who thought that this was going to be that?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I didn't.
But all the arguments. So who wants to sum up what's been going on with the
I
water
nominate
situation?
Brian to
I do
sum up.
too.
No.
Yeah, go
Water's
ahead.
not. Well, you're more versed in water than I am.
Well, that's okay.
I'm more of a debt and property tax kind of guy.
I have a, we're going to have fun this afternoon. How late does this program go?
Oh, you know what? We go as late as you need to.
I'm here, I can see her till 6 or 7. My wife's busy tonight, so. So here's, and I've talked to members of the Lone Star Groundwater Board, and the key term there is I've talked to them.
Right.
And we talk to each other. I mean, we
Right.
can have a good
Communication.
civil discussion. We have a relationship with them, and we want to have a relationship with
course.
them. Just like we do the former WJPA, which is now Woodlands Water
Yes.
Association, and SJRA. And I know those guys are, fighting like cats and dogs now.
But I think
but-
everybody's like, what are all these acronyms and who plays what part and what's going on?
So-
good point. It's
Yeah.
very complicated. I'm sorry, Mel.
No, I was fixing to say. So, SJRA stands for San Jacinto River Authority, and you just explained the Woodlands one.
Yeah, Woodlands Shore
Yes.
Towers.
And then
She didn't catch that.
Siri is now also in the interview room.
It always weirds me out when Siri's like, "What'd you say?" And I'm like, "I ain't talking to you."
Weird. That was weird.
Anyway, San Jacinto
Not
River.
today, Satan.
San Jacinto River Authority
Yes.
controls the river.
No, they're the regulating body of the
I know.
of the river, the river and
Exactly.
the watershed.
God controls
Yes.
the river.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, and then Lone Star Groundwater controls the groundwater. Not, and I'm not talking about controlling the water. I'm talking about the administrative
Entity.
part. I'm making it as simple as possible so that people understand the different parts
Well,
of it.
part
that
of
they
the
have to-
part of the problem that I have with the Lone Star Groundwater is that they are the regulatory body over the groundwater,
Right.
but it's not inclusive of all the groundwater and the
Correct.
totality of those aquifers, and that's in my opinion part of the problem, and that's a problem created by the legislature. That the legislature created this problem because they carved out these counties and said, you're in the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation, blah, blah, blah. But then those aquifers are
Out.
expand outside of those areas. So
Correct.
they're not subject to the regulations of that regulating body. And it just does not make sense to me.
And
Why
I agree with that.
why would you do that? Why,
Yeah.
I was really trying to make it simple, but that's that.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. It is a
it
very.
isn't simple.
It doesn't matter how much you try to simplify it to discuss it and to have an intellectual conversation about it, and then it's not. It is a very complicated issue. I mean, JJ and I have had this conversation before, and
Many times.
every time I come away with learning something else that I didn't know before, and because it is just that complicated of an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in our discussions with a lot of good, smart people around this, what I have told them is I'm almost policy agnostic. Okay,
Right.
I don't care what the policy is going to be. But what I want you to do is assure me that we're going to have water in the next 20, 30, 40,
kind of
50, 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you want to solve transportation issues or even CISD bond education issues, don't have water. Because you won't need roads, because
Yeah.
people won't live here.
right.
Water's the foundational
Of everything.
element there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's been our message is we want to be, as chambers, and I know the Conroe Chamber, Brian Bondi would agree with me, and he's involved in this as well, is we want to help be areas where people, or offices where people can come and sit down and feel like they can talk about something. I mean, we
That kind of
hosted-
neutral site.
in a neutral site, in a civil, respectful way. I mean, we hosted a meeting with SJRA and Lake Houston Chamber of Commerce right after Harvey. And it was the best 3 hours I've ever spent on a Friday afternoon I've done at the Chamber, because they left with a productive
That's great. Action
outlook.
items, yeah, ready to go.
Yeah, and they're ready to go. And so my message to SGRA, to Lone Star Groundwater, to Woodlands Water Association is, look, we need a plan that's going to help us have water that's agreed to on a scientific basis,
Right.
a geologic basis, that is going to let us have water in the next 5 decades. Because if we don't have that, we have a real problem.
Yeah,
Agreed.
That's all I want.
that's all, that's all.
It's just simple.
That's all you want.
I know. So moving on beyond that, I mean, obviously, water is an important issue, but it's not the only issue that we're facing.
Are we done with water already? Boy, that
Well,
was
no,
quick.
Everybody got quiet because
It was
Well,
like
you
it
just
was like
pretty
a
well
drop in the
summed-
bucket.
We are going to be bad punning here in a minute.
Yeah, but you pretty well summed it up.
Once it started flowing,
Yeah.
it just
Oh, God.
Oh, stop it,
It's
Brian.
not
you
gonna
can't
be
really
good.
dam it up anymore.
it's like not even 5 o'clock yet.
How many listeners do we have today?
463,000
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
And we love each and every one of you.
individually for your own qualities.
Okay.
Hey, y'all put the champagne aside.
there's 2 or 3 we don't. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
You know
I
who
know
you
who
are.
they are. Yeah, you know who you are.
You know.
Yeah, because they don't really care for us.
Yeah, exactly. They're not listening.
Yeah.
They're just
Okay,
they're just
so
acting like it.
so that's local.
Yes.
And obviously we've got a lot of
And that's
things
just the
going on.
drinking water portion of the water issue.
Yeah, that's
That's not the stormwater component of the issue.
No, and
and
oh,
flood
gosh.
mitigation.
Well, so, and I bring that back up for a reason, because yesterday I went to Commissioner's Court, first time in a long time.
Oh, how'd that go?
Interesting.
Yeah?
So there was, it's my opinion, so I can say whatever I want. The county judge to the south of us is not doing a service to her people. Shocking, right? The incompetence in which is being utilized down there is impressive. They're sending
That
their
is
Harris
so
County-
politically correct. Is this Dawson really?
Yeah, really.
They're sending their residents to Montgomery County from the Harris County side of Kingwood to Montgomery County to complain because they've identified the floodwaters coming from Montgomery County. Therefore, they're saying it's Montgomery County that they should speak to. And the
wow.
problem
It's to Betsy.
about developers and what they label as bad actors. The problem is that what they're not acknowledging. If they feel like they need to sue them, they have standing to do that because it's causing an effect in Harris County.
Right.
Correct.
The other thing I actually learned, did you know that Montgomery County is a non-traditional county in the eyes of the local government code?
What does that mean?
I'm still working on that.
I guess it's just like the Woodlands then.
There's a handful of counties that are non-traditional counties in the eyes of the local government code. Learned that from listening to
I did not know that.
our county attorney and our associate county attorney.
BD's smart, he would know.
Well,
Yeah.
listening to BD and Amy address that, but it has to do with the authority given, because as we all know, counties only have the authority that the state gives it.
Correct.
We're because of population and other things, we don't have the authority to do things that Harris County
I was
does.
fixing to say,
Now, we
because-
do have
yeah.
we are granted some of those authorities because we're adjacent to Harris County, but not all of those authorities. Like one of the things that came up is
That's not confusing.
I think I need more.
Yeah,
I should have brought 2 bottles today.
And so that means most counties are not traditional.
well,
Because most counties don't have the population
I
of
don't know that
Harris,
those two
Bear,
necessarily.
and-
I don't know that those two are necessarily connected. I'm still working on that. So.
Okay, well, let me know on that because I'm like really confused now. And
Yeah,
I
that
follow
would
this
be.
kind of thing.
Well,
This kind of
as
thing
we-
makes me tick.
I know a thing or two about county government, and I was confused too, which was
Okay, so yeah,
I'm working on
get back
it.
with me on that, would you?
she's always giving homework.
I'm gonna, well,
You
keeps you busy.
You brought it,
It
on
does.
yourself.
I really did, but I mean but that's the thing is they're shucking the responsibility and they're pointing at Montgomery County, saying our flooding in Harris County is all Montgomery County's fault.
So one thing that we've been pushing for at the chamber level is obviously Harvey was highly impactful and devastating to so many people. One thing that we've been asking, and a lot of the counties, precincts, cities, MUDs have done localized flood control projects,
Right.
which is great. We applaud them for doing that, and they should do that. But there needs to be, to your point, a regional, multi-county flood management, water management plan that identifies the big projects. Then you can then get funding from the feds, Corps of Engineers, whatever, and identify those, prioritize those, and then figure out how to get the funding for them. Because that, to me, helps resolve that issue of, oh, Harris County versus Montgomery County. And I understand that Harris County, and they're going to come speak to us soon. Harris County Flood Control District is the kind of the point of the spear for conducting that regional flood study, which I think is great. And I think we need to have some sort of a, complementary office like that in Montgomery County as
Right.
well, and for transportation too. That you've got kind of one organization or one entity or one person, one office that's really over, okay, what are these solutions and how do we work with other counties that already have that?
Well, and that's the challenge. I mean, I don't remember when because it was before my time, but we put it to a vote and it was rejected. Montgomery County
Yes, it
Flood Control
was.
District.
You're correct.
The
Because
thing about water is water doesn't care about county lines. Water doesn't care about
Exactly.
city lines and it all. And there were people that were during Imelda that were kind of panicking because of Harvey worried about Lake Conroe. Well, the thing is, Imelda the rainfall didn't get to the watershed.
No.
And so there was very little impact.
Right, so there was no large water
There was
release or
no
anything like
there was
that.
no large
Correct.
water release. There was not a lot of flooding around because there was not a lot of intake in Lake Conroe. But we do need. It has to be a regional solution because if you have everybody doing a hodgepodge, it's not going to work together.
No.
Well,
The water's all going to. We know where the water's going to go. Right.
And it all flows to Lake Houston.
I know this is shocking to the millions of viewers out there, but
Millions.
water
rolls
rolls
downhill.
downhill.
well, and not only that, but you can be driving down a road and you can see a change from asphalt to concrete where a county line changes or where a precinct changes. With water, it doesn't happen that way. It's
Water
always
just keeps-
interconnected.
Just keeps on rolling.
Just keeps on rolling.
And only 23% of the water that flows into the Kingwood area, i.e. Lake Houston, comes from Lake Conroe and the San Jacinto River. I mean, they are the funnel for about 7 different watersheds.
Yeah.
But SGRA continues to be kind of the whipping boy in
Right,
that process because they're organized and they're
well,
somebody
they're a
they
recognized
can target.
entity.
And they're recognized. And they can only do so much.
Right. Well, there's only so much control you can have over something like that, but having a plan that can actually
Yeah.
work together to try to, not only, take advantage of the resources we have, but be able to make concessions for these different areas. I mean,
I got into this discussion back during my campaign. That was the thing that you don't look at is the way the standards look for development is we're going to develop this piece of property and okay, this is how much water it takes in, so we need to hold X amount back. What they don't look at is then releasing that water into the storm system or into the drainage
What will that
system.
take?
What does that look like? Because it's going faster.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
under raw land does not let that same amount of water out because it absorbs.
Right.
And so I had a meeting this morning, and there's not enough discussion about the use of impermeable pavements.
yes.
There's not enough discussion about using. Everybody wants to talk about costs because they get in and then they start talking about construction costs
Of
and this
course.
and the other. Well, you have to leverage it. Are you talking about what's the cost savings of additional construction costs, but savings on impact because you're
Right.
able to reduce flooding and you're keeping your less impermeable pavement, allowing the water to do what it naturally is expected to do or supposed to do, and so keeping it
Soak
out
into
of
the ground.
sticking it out of the drainage system.
it's a lot.
All these are
Kind of a
always
headache.
they're always complicated issues. I mean,
Very
and that's one
complicated.
reason why things happen the way they do, is because they take a tremendous amount of work from several
Entities.
different agencies and entities and organizations to really get a comprehensive plan.
And each with their own objective and their own agenda and their own
Yeah.
empowerments, and it really is a
Well, and part of the
Mess.
problem is, and you've enumerated it today, whether you intended to or not, is
It was my fault. I'm sorry.
She used a big word.
Yeah, I did. Enumerate.
Another
yeah.
monosyllabic
Y'all,
word.
yeah. Ooh. Anyway, you can be mad at SJRA for drinking water problems, but you can't be mad at SJRA for floodwater problems about some things, but you can about other things. And what happens is, whether it's the school system or the water board or the water authority or whomever, county government, you have to take each episode, each issue individually and address each specific issue, because otherwise you end up with a problem.
Well, and Brian brought up a
cannot.
good point that not only do you have to manage floodwaters, but it wasn't too long ago when Lake Travis was dry.
Exactly.
Lake Conroe was 15 to 20 feet
Yes.
below the normal pooling stage.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
vividly.
you've got to manage
wasn't that
those
long ago.
things. It was, what, 08, 09? I mean,
It's usually like a 7-year cycle. I mean, it's weird that it's that consistent, but it's usually about a 7-year cycle. But when we go into those droughts, they last. I mean, they're a 3 or 4 year drought and then a 7-year.
Well, and then everybody freaks out because people don't know how to deal with extremes. If you're a little bit ebbing and flowing on the edge of middle, then it's not so bad. But but getting onto those edges, people start panicking.
The other side of that, Mel, I mean, you're old enough, you'll know.
I love you too.
But when they built Conroe, I mean, it filled up above
Lake Conroe?
Lake Conroe.
It filled up in the blink of an eye.
because it
my
was
gosh.
built. It was supposed to do like 5 years, and it did
Yeah.
it in 18 months.
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
It's
not
much
know that
wind-
story.
Yeah, it was so much rain.
But that's how the extremes that Chris is talking about. I mean, we're dealing with those extremes. But to the water issue, going back to the drinking water issue, I mean, very few people realize there's one natural lake in the state of Texas,
Yeah, Caddo Lake.
Caddo
Colorado
Lake.
Lake.
The rest of them are reservoirs. They're
Do you
either-
know how it became a natural lake?
Oh, let's hear this story.
I have no idea. Because
A
if
glacier.
God made
Downed.
it, if it's a natural lake, God made it.
Downed trees. Downed trees is what stopped the river up and
Yeah.
Caused
forced
that to
the.
happen.
Yep.
Interesting.
awesome.
Interesting.
My contribution over here is done now.
So
That's all I've got.
But we're also we're moving water
Somebody
all over the
fact
state.
check that.
okay.
I'm fixing to.
So
I'm
while
good.
we're
Siri.
talking about water, and if anybody is out there that wants to check their water bill,
Yep.
and write in and let us know how many hundreds yours
You mean
is.
you mean my fee bill, because the majority of
it's
mine
bills
is
and
fees.
Right, but,
Yes.
but I want to
Pumpage fee.
tell you, there is a book written by James Michener by the name of Texas. Now, I know all of y'all.
Oh,
I
yes,
know all
good
of y'all
book.
have read it.
Texas.
But there,
Texas.
yeah. Thank you for singing, Brian. But there's
Or not.
there's in
It's
the
like the
very,
first time anybody's
in
ever
the
thanked you for
very
singing.
beginning. I think it may even be the foreword. Maybe it's his first chapter. I don't really remember, but. It's been a few years. I read it
You're very
twice.
specific on your
Yeah.
recalling.
I read it twice. That the thing that made Texas Texas, the thing that made Texas rich and wealthy, was not cattle, not oil, not any of the other myriad of natural resources. It was water.
Yep.
And now we can't afford it. It's really frustrating. And so I think that you should all read the book, first of all. But the other thing is that I think that we have to, it's an argument that we have to get worked out. It's an argument that we have to get straight.
Well, people have got to get smart about it. People need to do their
Exactly.
own research. And,
Okay.
it's one of those things we don't always make time for anymore.
Exactly.
But we're not. But you're right. We're not being smart. That's what I was saying just a second ago. We're moving water across the state of Texas because instead of developing
Exactly.
where water is at and where we can provide and water can be provided for people, as sustenance and all, we're moving the water. So they're building pipelines from Rayburn to
Yep.
Dallas. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yankees.
in the
I was born in Dallas, thank you.
I knew there was something precarious about you.
Yankees.
Something.
Go Cowboys.
I'm a
So
Cowboy.
in the Dodge Phelps Greater Metropolitan Area, would you like to know what our water bill is?
I didn't know. I thought y'all just had like a bucket that you stuck down in a hole.
No, we have actual water that comes into our houses.
Like indoor plumbing type?
Uh-huh,
Wow.
exactly.
No. It's a half a pipe that pisses off the Trinity River and runs out.
Oh, no, not the Trinity. We can't do the Trinity. Sorry. Would you like to know what my water bill is?
$4.
$21.75.
That's what mine
Her
used to
and
be.
Annie
I
took a
know.
shower last
I
month.
know.
I said her and Annie took a shower last month.
We did. It was great. And we took our time.
Oh, boy, we're
We
going
took-
that
We took
direction.
our
Yeah, we took our time.
Yeah,
We took a long
so-
shower. The point I'm trying to make is
So many things.
it's not the actual cost of the water. It's all of this administrative BS that's costing the money.
Well, it's the cost of getting the water, providing the water, getting the water to where it needs to go, the infrastructure around it. But that is exponentially impacted because of the bureaucracy around it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's the water show.
Yes.
Because the
Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Go ahead,
JJ,
JJ.
because the-
JJ's not through. I
because
just
the-
moving on.
because the water line in the Woodlands is doing so well, right?
You know, that is something, and we got an update on that this morning as well from Ms. Heather at SGRA, and that's very concerning to all of us. Is what is going on with the contractor laid piping under the roadways?
Right.
I mean, that whole plan was built so that it could use Lake Conroe water to take the pressure off the aquifer, which made a lot of sense. A lot of agreements put in place. It was very complicated, as everything is with water. But now, when you got a major thoroughfare through the middle of the Woodlands, shut down for 3 weeks because a pipe was not installed properly. That and then you worry about, and this is not the first time it's happened.
I was going to say, this is what, third?
I think you're right. I think it's the third, and we're all very concerned because of what may be a construction issue.
Well, and it's because it's not just the water that you're losing, it's also all of the dollars that go into repair, and it's also people getting upset because they're having to change their routes, and you've got increased traffic. One little situation
You got
with
half
water.
of Research Drive shut down for
and the
a
businesses
mile?
that are along that route.
Yeah,
Right.
and the businesses.
Exactly. That
the
are along that
businesses.
route that
Yep.
are suffering as a result.
I mean, and they did a phenomenal job of, and I go that way to work every day, so I'm seeing it.
Right.
And James Nowak, our county commissioner, SGRA, have done the constable's office, Ryan Gable, have done a phenomenal job working together to get traffic through.
Yeah.
To put signage up, give early warning, which people still ignore.
And Commissioner Nowak has also done a fantastic job of keeping everybody abreast on social media. This is what's
Yes.
going
Yes,
on. This is what's
yes.
happening.
Yeah.
This is how you can adapt to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got guys out there, they've got state troopers out there, they've got sheriff's deputies out there that are
That's just 'cause they're looking for
directing
you.
traffic. That's why I have to drive a different car to work. But they are directing traffic, so they're getting you through intersections. I mean, literally, it may not to
The impact is.
not to dismiss the impact, because it is impactful, but it's probably costing me an extra 2 minutes to get to work with half of research being closed down.
Yeah.
And it's great to see how they respond to a negative situation, meaning
Correct.
But
Yeah.
but it's also pulling a
negative
lot of
situation.
resources.
Yeah.
It's pulling a lot of resources.
It's always money.
Well,
Yeah.
and not that extra officer that's there directing traffic is being pulled away from
something
doing
else.
something else.
Working a wreck on I-45
Yeah.
or what have you. Yeah, you're right.
There are wrecks on I-45.
No.
Oh, did you hear about the high-speed chase yesterday afternoon in Willis?
No.
I did
Shut
not.
down 75 and 45. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was running late to get the kids.
I heard
I
that.
don't know what to say.
You know what? I saw it.
You saw it? Were you in it?
Yeah, I was coming. No, because I live in the greater Dodge Phelps
Where were they?
metropolitan
Were they
area.
chasing you?
Exactly. Anyway, but I did. I saw, and I thought that's not even a wreck. They had just
Ooh.
Yeah,
They just
locked up through.
Locked
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah, the DPS shots fired and everything else. Yeah.
We had an escaped arrestee in the Woodlands the other day.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, a guy was getting arrested and on research force and somehow got away from the trooper that was arresting him and ran around, handcuffed and everything, still was running around.
Christy knows that trooper, by the way. Can't tell the difference between lights being on and off.
Let's not have that conversation today. But obviously, water is going to be an ongoing issue and something that we're going to have to
Yes, it is.
address. So we're running short on time. See, this always
Really?
happens when you get here
You're
because we
kidding
start
me.
talking. Well, we've got about 5 minutes left. Okay.
What?
So we got to touch on this one subject because this is something that is blowing up everybody's Facebook feeds, Instagram feeds, news,
Lord.
everything.
We get it. What's
Impeachment,
Impeachment.
Rockets, or the
Rockets.
Houston Rockets.
And the Astros.
The Rockets deal is
Game 5 tomorrow.
ridiculous.
The Rockets deal is actually really crazy. Mel, why don't you fill us in a little bit on that? Because it's nuts.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it's just pretty simple.
So the Astros general manager.
No, Rockets.
Rockets.
I mean,
General,
Rockets
yeah.
general manager.
Yeah, he made a post. I think it was a Twitter post, right? Tweet.
Yeah.
He made a tweet. Said
he tweeted.
He uses the
he said-
Twitter.
He said, yeah,
He
he
uses
uses
the
the Twitter.
Twitter.
He
The
uses the
tweeter.
Twitter. Exactly. Anyway, he made a post and it said, "We stand with Hong Kong and we are against China." Basically, is what he said. That's a breakdown of what he
Yeah.
said. And why, then the NBA said, well, we're not going to police what any of our coaches or players say.
'Cause we support freedom of speech.
Yeah, because we support free speech, okay? But, somebody's going to have to pay the price on this because, and basically supported communist China. I'm exaggerating a little, but that's basically what happened. And the general consensus is among the conservative media is why? Why are you supporting communist China? We know you've got investments there. So what? Doesn't mean you should support communist China. Anyway, so that is all the buzz in the sports world. There, they have not made a decision on it.
What
Yeah.
decision are they going to make?
I'm just telling
By
you.
who?
They
Well-
haven't made. A
well,
decision.
now I
don't know
think-
what
I
the
think,
decision to make is.
The NBA?
One of the
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
the Chinese government has done is because the Rockets were over there doing an
Right.
expo game, and they basically didn't shut it down, but they shut it off of all media outlets. So they couldn't watch it, they couldn't support it, and I'm sure that probably cost them millions of dollars as far as the NBA and probably the Rockets organization. And
The
being
latest
hou-
estimate I
yeah.
read was somewhere between $10 million and $25 million.
It's crazy.
Really?
The home
I
of
didn't
Yao
hear
Ming.
that. Didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I just made that number up.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
then
We got 30
then there's
minutes
the whole impeachment argument that's just getting out of control.
It is. I am proud of regardless of how you feel about Trump. This is my personal opinion, and you all know I'm conservative.
Ish.
Ooh. Gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah, I felt
3 minutes.
Anyway, I am proud of the administration for standing up to the Pelosi's directives, and I'm.
Well,
they should have stopped it before this.
My take on this, I can't help it not have an opinion, obviously, but is all this chatter and noise and distraction in D.C.
Distraction.
doesn't do a thing to educate kids or pave roads or solve
Nope.
water issues
Nope.
or all the
secure
things.
our country,
Or
or
secure our
take care of our
country.
first
I mean, Turkey
responders.
just invaded
I
Syria
know.
Yes.
this morning.
Yes.
I mean, there are some real issues out there, and this.
Oh, look at
Saudi-
Ukraine.
Saudi,
while this is
Iran.
going on. Yes,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some real issues going on.
but there are, and I thought you were going to go somewhere different with it, but I was going to say it's the sleight of hand by the Democrats, and that's the Ukraine issue. I mean,
There you go.
The more and more you read, they're all worried about this one conversation that the president had with the prime minister of the Ukraine or
Yeah.
president of Ukraine, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and then you start realizing that they're all going back years from the Clintons to the
Pelosi's.
Bidens to Pelosi.
been
Involved in
employed,
business
yeah.
dealings with the Ukrainians.
Yes.
And isn't Russia still occupying some sections of
Crimea?
Ukraine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just saying, there might be other bigger issues to
well,
discuss.
and again, it's one of those things where we're in election year,
Yes.
or
It's-
election
it's
cycle.
all about the politics.
and it's coming, but they're doing such a great job.
We've become. I feel like we as a country have become so fearful of reaction that we don't solve problems.
And with that, how are we on time, Dick? We need to wrap it up. See,
Okay, so JJ, you have to come back soon.
please.
Well, two things.
Yes.
So I mentioned the October 15th Township Forum.
Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
October 29th is our Business Votes Day. We will
Yes.
have voter valet if you want to get picked up and carried to the polls.
Early voting.
And early
Awesome.
voting. And then at 4 o'clock on October 29th at Mahoney's Texas Bar and Restaurant.
great place.
It's
Great
just a
T-bones.
phenomenal place. We will have a party after the polls. So bring your I voted
Oh.
sticker, get a free drink.
I'm going to put that on my calendar today.
You need to come, and we'll have 2 Olympians, Laura Wilkerson
Yes.
and Cassidy Cook,
Awesome.
and the Will Carter Band, which was featured on the CMA Awards last
Excellent.
weekend, will be playing there. So we'll be there from
That is
4
super
until
cool.
6 at least.
That's amazing.
At least.
And y'all have a little golf tournament coming up too.
October 28th?
Yes.
As does another organization I know of.
Punt, pass, and chip.
Yes, punt. Yes, pass and chip. It's kind of a football theme.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But we don't do too many games. It's you get to come and play golf at our golf tournament.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. It's going to be held at the Woodlands Country Club Palmer Course, right?
It's actually at the resort.
Oh, at the resort.
At Panther Trails.
Perfect.
Okay, so we gotta wrap up?
Yeah, and for all the updates, you can go to woodlandschamber.org. You can see their full calendar of events. You can sign up to come. I know last night was the business after hours. The networking breakfast is coming up soon. Get involved with your local chamber. Know who your leaders are. Get to know who your community leaders are, because all of these issues can be addressed directly with them. So, JJ, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have you back because we've got so many issues coming. Brian, thank you once again for weighing in. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday at 12 noon. We'll be back here once again toasting the best of Montgomery County with Toast of the Town with Christy and Mel. Y'all make it a great week.